Scouts, fellow Scouters, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Troop Committee of Scouts BSA Troop 557, it is my great pleasure to call this Eagle Court of Honor to order. Will everyone please stand? Color Guard, present the colors.
Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Scouts salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Marcus Hone, Troop Committee member, will now give the invocation.
Please be reverent. Dear gracious God, as we gather today to celebrate Mason's achievement of Eagle Scout, we give thanks for his family, his fellow Scouts, and his Scout leaders, who have shaped him into the leader he has become. Under their guidance, he has learned more about who he is, developed an interest in conserving and protecting the world's resources, and been enthusiastic about helping others. We ask that you continue to direct his life so that his actions and dealings with others make the world a better place in which to work and play. In your name we pray. Amen.
Okay, today is a very special day in our lives. For Mason, it's a special one because in just a few moments, he will join a very select group that few young people ever achieve. Receiving the Eagle rank is one of the few events in life that truly happens only once. It is a very special day for Mason's family, who have supported him in his Eagle quest and can take pride in his earning this award. It is also a special day for our troop and First Lutheran Church. Troop 557 has a long tradition of Eagle Scouts, and we are proud to continue that tradition with the young ladies of Troop 1557 as we conduct this Eagle Court of Honor. I think that might be a little extra in there. And for each of you, it is a special day as you come here to celebrate Mason's accomplishments. On behalf of the Scouts and leaders of the BSA Troop 557, I welcome all of you who have come to participate in this Court of Honor. Will all the Eagle Scouts please stand and introduce yourselves and give the date of your Eagle?
Cooper Hawkins, 2024. Keegan Philosophy, 2023. Austin Giles, July 2022. Lucas Owen, January 6, 2021. Richard Rivera, 2024. Jack Hawkins, 2018. Logan Sportsclaw, August 2024.
We'll go all the way back, I think.
Bob Oates, 1993.
Tony Zizek, 1990.
Excellent, thank you. And with us today are Mason's mother, Sarah Jones, his father, David, his sister, Sailor, I apologize, grandmother, Peggy, grandfather, Glenn, and I have an honorary grandmother of Deb. Thank you. All right, Virginia Moats, member of the Hoosier Trails Council Executive Board, will convene this court of honor.
There are few achievements in life that require the vision and fortitude to be completed by a certain age. Achieving the rank of Eagle Scout is one of them. Neither education nor hard work can earn this honor once a young person reaches the age of 18. By the power vested in me by the National Council and the Hoosier Trails Council of Scouting America, I officially convene this court of honor for the sole purpose of awarding the Eagle Scout rank to Mason Jones. Now we are proud to present our Eagle candidate, who will be guided by his escorts to the base of the Eagle Trail.
You as an Eagle Scout. I have earned my Eagle badge. Now, back to the time when you first became a Scout and your last meeting with your Cupmaster, Akela.
Mason, many moons have passed since you stood before Akela in the council circle. Last time we met, I presented you with this arrow, representing an arrow of light, the highest achievement in Cub Scouting. Never forget the fun times you had in Cub Scouts. All the interesting challenges you got to take, and also the new places you got to go. Where once you were a boy in Cub Scouts, aspiring to be an Eagle Scout, you now stand before me, Akela, worthy of the title of Eagle Scout.
The first thing that we learned as new members of our troop was the oath by which Scouts do their best to live. Although we easily learned to repeat the words, we soon found that to live by the meaning presented us with a real challenge. To be a good citizen, to do the right thing, not for fear of punishment, but because we felt the obligation to live up to the best within ourselves, to keep our minds and bodies healthy. In all these things we have tried to do our best. So have you, and this is why you stand here today.
On my honor, I'll do my best.
Let us look at the phrase, Scout's honor. When a Scout stands before his fellow Scouts and pledges, on my honor, I will do my best, he should not take the words lightly. That phrase should help him focus upon his personal integrity so that his earnest desire to do his best is strengthened and reinforced.
As Tenderfoot Scouts, we said to ourselves, these are my rules. I believe in them and accept them. You became a Scout on the Eagle Trail, taking a bearing on our future and moving toward honor. To do my duty to God and my country.
And duty to your country? There is an old Chinese saying that each generation builds a road for the next. The road has been built well for you. It is incumbent upon you to build the road even better for the next generation. We hope you will never be called upon to die for your country, but you will be expected, and America has every right to expect that you live for it.
By the time you became a second-class Scout, you began to develop an increasing awareness of the meaning of this part of the Scout Oath. You began to learn the importance of good citizenship, its privileges, and, more importantly, its responsibilities. The time you spent hiking and camping with the troop made you more appreciative of the beautiful world God created for all of us. You begin to see that doing your best to live as God and our country expected you to live not only made you a better person, but helped your fellow Scouts.
This Scout law.
Many times since you became a Scout, you've repeated the 12 points of the Scout Law. When you were inducted as the newest member of the troop, you found these points impressive. Later, as you advanced in Scouting, you probably repeated them at various ceremonies without always giving thought to the implications behind the words. Now, as you relive with us your progress in Scouting and your personal maturity, we would like you to hear them again. Please listen as the Eagle Scouts who are with us today repeat the Scout Law. Will all Eagle Scouts please rise and repeat the Scout Law? A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
As first-class scout, you tried to demonstrate the points of the scout law by the way you lived. You gained some understanding of these 12 goals of personal conduct and found that as you moved up the Eagle Trail, living up to these goals became increasingly demanding and rewarding. Just as all scouts were challenged, so were you.
To help other people at all times.
This should remind you of the Scout slogan, do a good turn daily. If we do something regularly, it becomes a habit. That is the aim of this part of the Scout Oath. Doing personal good turns and community service is an important part of Scouting.
To become a Star Scout and earn the next rank, the Heart Badge of Life, you were required to do community service work. Sometimes you worked under the leadership of an older scout whose immediate goal was Eagle rank, but you also planned and carried out projects for your own. You became increasingly aware of the value of the work you were doing and the personal satisfaction to be gained from making the work succeed.
As you served our community and assisted fellow scouts, you also discovered something else: the importance of the example you were setting to those who watched you, who would later be more likely to accept such responsibilities in their turn because of your attitude and actions. As every Eagle Scout before you did his or her best to set the example, so did you.
To keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
When a scout makes a pledge to keep himself physically strong, he's not thinking of bulging muscles. He's speaking of physical fitness in its most complete sense. Fitness to be able to enjoy life at its fullest. Fitness so he can fulfill his finest possible role in life with confidence in his own abilities.
The phrase "to keep myself mentally awake" sets a goal of mental health and vitality, initiative, and keenness of mind, an expanding concept that grows as a boy matures. The mentally awake person finds many pathways to growth. He thinks the people who stimulate him are curious, alert, and creative. He uses all the resources available to help him understand the world in which he lives and to which he hopes to contribute share.
To keep morally straight means to keep clean in mind and body, whether you are alone or in a crowd. Many times you will be alone, and the decision for right or wrong will rest solely with you. It may test your honor and your strength. Such battles may be the most gallant of your life, for in them you will win without praise and lose without blame.
In many ways, you found this part of the Scout Oath to be the most challenging of all. As a Life Scout, in leadership roles to which you were appointed or elected, you found that more was expected of you than ever before. It was now assumed that as a troop leader, you would accept responsibilities and see them through, and that you should set an example of physical, mental, and moral fitness for your fellow scouts. You did your best to meet that challenge.
Have you done and been all that you could have? Only you can answer that question. But because you stand here tonight, we know that you have tried. On my honor, I will do my best.
You have nearly completed your journey, and there's one final thought we would like to share with you. The word leadership does not appear in the Scout Oath, but it's implied in every phrase. Give thought now to your responsibility as a leader. A leader is a person who is going somewhere, but not alone. He takes others with him as he goes. Where will you lead those who follow you? We challenge you to take pride in what you have learned, so through your leadership, as you move with purpose towards your goals, the principles of the Scout Oath become a living thing for those who follow. Mason, join in spirit with the thousands of young men and now young women who have attained the goal you have now achieved. Pledge yourself once again to citizenship and service by repeating the Scout Oath.
Those around you, your Scoutmaster, parents, and friends, have watched your character mature, your mind develop, and your leadership abilities expand into a valuable asset. This is a proud moment for you, but remember that the badge you're about to receive is not only yours, but ours. For what you do in the future reflects not only upon yourself, but also upon your fellow Eagle Scouts. You have walked the trail with honor, and we welcome you.
If you'll please bring Mason's parents up. When you're asked to serve as Scoutmaster in an Eagle Court of Honor, you prepare by thinking back on your time with the Scout and the troop. When I think of Mason, I can't help but see him at Winter Rendezvous wearing a floppy trapper hat, coming out of his tent first thing in the morning to sit at the picnic table, boots still untied. I think he enjoyed the cold weather camping, or at least as much as any Scout does. But at that moment, I remember thinking he didn't really want to be there. He just wanted to be back home in a warm bed. As the day wore on, he remembered why he enjoyed being there. You served as SPL for that event, and both you and the patrols did fantastic that year. Mason is an ordeal member of the Order of the Arrow. The Order of the Arrow is Scouting's honor society. It's the only group of its kind that I know of where non-members vote in the members. He was chosen by his peers for induction into the Order of the Arrow because of his attitude towards others and your natural tendency towards servant leadership. While data for 2024 is not yet in the calendar year 2023, there were 29,269 young people, both boys and girls, that earned the rank of Eagle. My guess is 2024 will have similar numbers. I'm sure you all heard that approximately 4% of Scouts that start the path towards Scouting's highest rank make it to the summit and earn the rank of Eagle. It's just a hunch, but I'd guess that the vast majority of these Scouts, the vast majority, had a pair of parents alongside, encouraging them, pleading with them, threatening them to try and get them to finish. Too many times we've seen Scouts turning in their Eagle application at the council office in person because they didn't have time to mail it. Many times it was the child's father or mother that drove them over to Bloomington to turn it in. This is where Mason is different than almost all other Scouts. Not that he got done early, he didn't, but that he completed his requirements for Eagle while his parents lived in another state. He chose to stay in Columbus to finish his high school diploma at Columbus North. He did it. And to complete his requirements for Eagle with his troop. Spoiler alert, he did that too. When a Scout is close to earning the rank of Eagle, he or she makes that push to complete the final requirements and the remaining merit badges. It's normal for Scouts to pick off the easiest of these. Adults many times are no different. Then when it comes down to crunch time and their 18th birthday looming, what remains are the most challenging requirements and the merit badges they've dreaded and put off. Mason was no different in this regard either. But where Mason was different is he completed these requirements, contacted the merit badge counselors, and completed the Eagle Scout application. That whole process, all while his parents were 950 miles away. Mason, for this, you are to be commended. That's not to say that he was alone. That's the wonderful thing about Troop 557. Dedicated team of Scouters that are here solely for the purpose of supporting the youth. Troop 557, congratulations for you are also in order. You are amazing. Which brings me to my final point. When I was asked to be Scoutmaster for Mason's Eagle ceremony, I was frankly shocked. I honestly thought I'd served as the role of Scoutmaster for my final time. I thought the boys that I had had some influence on had gotten their Eagle and moved on. The den and patrol I served, or now most of them are 24 and living their lives miles away from us. I couldn't believe he would honor me by asking me to serve in this role, as I was only a scoutmaster for a short period of time. I stuck around and contributed, but for the most part, those roles had passed on to others. I even sent Dave an email asking if this was what he really wanted. Mason has had 3 incredible scoutmasters since I stepped down: Dan Erickson, Elton Duro, and his current scoutmaster, Jeff Kelly. I thought surely he'd want to have one of them serve in this role. Dave said no. Mason wanted it to be me. For this, I am truly honored. I'm reminded of an essay that has been reproduced many times, but first appeared in the pages of Scouting magazine in the October issue of 1950. It was written by a man named Forrest Whitcraft. A long-time and influential scouter, Whitcraft served as the scout executive in the Central South Dakota Council, and he served as the managing editor for Scouting magazine from 1951 to 1958. This is an excerpt from that essay. All about me are boys. They are the makers of history, the builders of tomorrow. If I can have some small part in guiding them up the trail of scouting, onto the high road of noble character and constructive citizenship, I may prove to be the most important man in their lives, the most important man in my community. 100 years from now, it will not matter what my bank account was, the sort of house I lived in, or the kind of car that I drove. But the world may be different because I was important in the life of a boy. So for those of you adult men and women who now wear the tan shirt and help to lead and guide these young people, I say this: you are doing important work. Keep in mind that you will never know when you might say something or show some kindness to a struggling youth that may make all the difference in the world. They may remember that simple act long after you are gone from their lives, and remember their time with you, however briefly, fondly. Mason, I and the rest of Troop 557, as well as everyone gathered here, could not be more proud of you. You have a fantastic future ahead of you, and we expect great things from you. We demand them. During your travels, don't forget to check in with us from time to time. And you know, as always, you are welcome at my campfire anytime. So at this time, we'd like to present some awards and certificates. So I'll start first with, let's finish with that. These are certificates that has received. This one from the American Legion, certificate of recognition awarded to Mason Jones for earning the rank of Eagle. This one from the National Park Service of the United States of America, certify, congratulate, and commend Mason Jones for earning the rank of Eagle. Somebody's been talking to NASA. NASA presented to Mason Jones in recognition of your Court of Honor on earning the rank of Eagle Scout. Congratulations there. And then really cool, this comes with a really monster coin and an Indiana state pin, and it comes from the House of Representatives. State of Indiana, Indiana House of Representatives. It is my pleasure to congratulate Mason Jones on achieving the rank of Eagle Scout. Earning this elite title is a tremendous honor and displays your unparalleled work and effort and skills. I look forward to seeing how your leadership will guide the future of our great state. From Mr. Ryan Lauer. So at this time, I would like for Mason to present to his mother your mother's pin. Did I grab the right one? Yes. There's your mother's pin. And at this time, if you would, here is your father's pen for your dad. I'll pin that thing. Mom, it is your honor then to present him with his Eagle badge or medal. Nicely done. Would you guys like to give him his scarf now? So if you'll, Dave, if you'll remove his old neckerchief. I'll take that. Yep. This has not been pre-rolled, so I'm going to leave that for you. You've done this a time or two. I'll give you the easy part. Awesome. Then along with the award also comes another certificate, which reads, the Boy Scouts of America is proud to award the rank of Eagle Scout to Mason Alexander Jones of Troop 557, Columbus, Indiana, in recognition of the significant or successful completion of all rank requirements for Scouting's highest rank. Again, congratulations. Then Mason also earned more merit badges than are required. So for that, they give Eagle Palms. So I'll leave these up here, but Mason has also earned a bronze and a gold palm. You can wear those on your device or on the ribbon. Congratulations. I'm proud of you, son, truly.
Thank you, Dad. I now basically would like to, is he escorting his parents back? It's the Eagle Charge. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Would you like to escort your parents back to their seats, please? Thank you. And then come back up here and join me. And I will have Eagle Scout Cooper and Eagle Scout Keegan please join me up here and give the Eagle Charge and challenge, please.
The Boy Scouts of all nations constitute one of the most meaningful and significant movements in the world's history, and you have been counted worthy of high rank in its membership. All who know you rejoice in your achievement. Your position, as you well know, is one of honor and responsibility. You are a marked man. As an Eagle Scout, you have assumed a solemn obligation to do your duty to God, to country, to fellow Scouts, and to humanity. This is a great undertaking. As you live up to your obligations, you bring honor to yourself and your brother Scouts. When you fail, you bring down by so much the good name of all true and worthy Scouts. Your responsibility goes beyond your fellow Scouts to your country and God. America has many good things to give you and your children after you, but these good things depend, for the most part, on the character and leadership abilities of her citizens. You are to help her in all that she needs most. She has a great past. You are here to help make her future greater. I charge you to undertake your citizenship with a solemn dedication. Be a leader, but lead only towards the best. Lift up every task you do and every office you hold to the highest level of service to God and to your fellow men. So live and serve that those who know you will be inspired to the finest living. We have too many who use their strength and their brains to exploit others and to gain selfish ends. I charge you to be among those who dedicate their skills and abilities to the common good. Build America on the solid foundation of clean living, honest work, unselfish citizenship, and reverence for God. In whatever others may do, you will leave behind a record of which every Scout may be proud.
The foremost responsibility of an Eagle Scout is to live with honor. To be an Eagle Scout, honor is the foundation of all character. He knows that a Scout is trustworthy, is the first point of the Scout Law for a good reason. An Eagle Scout lives honorably, not only because honor is important to him, but because of the vital significance of the example he sets for other Scouts. Living honorably reflects credit on his home, his church, his troop, and his community. May the white of the Eagle badge remind you, always live with honor. The second obligation of an Eagle Scout is loyalty. A Scout is true to his family, Scout leaders, friends, school, and nation. His loyalty to his troop and brother Scouts makes him pitch in and carry his share of the load. All of these help build the loyalty that means devotion to community, to country, to one's own ideals, and to God. Let the blue of the Eagle badge always inspire your loyalty. The third obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be courageous. Courage has always been a quality by which men measure themselves and others. To a Scout, bravery means not only the courage to face physical danger, but also the determination to stand up for what is right. Trusting in God with faith in his fellow man, he looks forward to each day, seeking his share of the world's work to do. Let the red or the Eagle badge remind you always of courage. The fourth obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be cheerful, to remind the Eagle Scout to always wear a smile. The red, white, and blue ribbon is attached to the scroll of the Second Class Scout Award, which always has its ends turned up in a smile. And the final responsibility of an Eagle Scout is service. The Eagle Scout extends a helping hand to those who still toil up Scouting's trail, just as others helped him in his climb to Eagle. The performance of the daily good turn takes on a new meaning when he enters a more adult life of continuing service to others. The Eagle stands as protector of the weak and helpless. He aids and comforts the unfortunate and the oppressed. He always upholds the rights of others while defending his own. He will always be prepared to put forth his best. Mason Jones, you deserve much credit for having achieved Scouting's highest award. But wear your award with humility, ever mindful that the Eagle Scout is looked up to as an example. May the Scout Oath and Scout Law be your guide for tomorrow and onward.
Thank you. You two may be seated. Mason must stay. Next, I'd like to invite up our first keynote speaker today, Tony Zizek. Gotta stretch, Mason. There you go.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tony Zizek. I'm the Vice President of Programs for Hoosier Trails Council, and I'm here to speak to you all about what you've already heard. And when asked to talk about what an Eagle Scout is and what it really means, the crowd is well aware of what an Eagle is. However, there's a lot of points to it that go unnoticed or not really thought of at the very beginning. Imagine somebody that has been trained in the art of problem solving, understanding that The first way may not necessarily be the right way at that time, but have the fortitude and the perseverance and the courage to attack the hill again and win it for the day, because that person knew how to learn lessons and take advice and think for himself or herself. Those are just the few little bit of qualities that an Eagle Scout possesses. To sum up what it means to be an Eagle Scout, or what it takes to be an Eagle Scout, could be done in one word, simply, and that it's hard. It's hard for a lot of reasons. It's not hard from an adult perspective, because from an adult perspective, number one, we don't know what we're signing up for when we sign up our kids to be a scout. We learn that along the way. But it's hard for a kid to be an Eagle Scout, because there are so many other things that are priorities for them at the same time that they are seeing what sort of priority Scouts is. It's a lesson in perseverance. It's a lesson in friendship. It's a lesson in problem solving. Watching how others lead, where they failed, where they picked themselves up, where they saw that they had the support group, and they saw that they won the day eventually. So it does take a lot of time. It does take a lot of patience, and it takes a lot of snacks on campouts. And it takes parents. It is a very high statistic of Scouts that have parents involved in the unit that they become Eagle. It is much higher percentage for those Scouts to become an Eagle. It's even awesome to hear that Mason did that with a support structure at the very end to get him across the line, knowing that his parents were there to help start that support structure. It's leadership learned. For Scouts, you all have an opportunity today to not only talk to the other blue neckerchief Scouts that are in your ranks today, but you have a brand new role model to ask questions of what would he do differently? What would he do the same? What helped him make it through the hard parts of Scouts? You have this one and only opportunity to get a very fresh perspective from your newest Eagle rank today. And for parents and the community at large, you have somebody here that has gone through training that companies pay lots and lots of money for. You have somebody that understands that it is perseverance and the ability to do what's right and to discern it is what companies go after. And for Mason, the one thing that you have shown with accomplishments from all the different organizations recognizing your scouting career as well as your last achievement of Eagle. A lot of people realize that Eagle Scouts are a special breed, but it's not what they did to make Eagle which makes the Eagle memorable. It is what the Eagle Scout does after their Eagle which makes them memorable. Those are the likes of Neil Armstrong, Gerald Ford, Steven Spielberg, Sam Walton, and all kinds of other people. It is what they did after they became Eagle Scout, which makes Eagle Scouts known, reputable, dependable. I hope that you hear, of course he's an Eagle Scout. That makes total sense. That will be the best compliment you will ever get as an Eagle Scout. So please remember that as you move forward. And please welcome him with open arms, and please join me in a hand of applause for Mason and his parents on Eagle. And in remembrance of what you need to do from this going forward. I give you this challenge coin, signifying doing a good turn daily, to continue to do a good turn daily. All
right, thank you, Tony. Next, I'll have Bob Moats join us up here as our second keynote speaker. There's only two, Mason, so good.
Yeah, there's only two of us, lucky you. I've had the opportunity of being a part of Mason's life journey from pretty much the very, very, very beginning. I held him as an infant and have been there, and we've been kind of going through a lot of this together for the 18? Okay. I should know these things. Years on the planet. And I don't know if you fully appreciate how special you are to so many people in this room. What you've given them just over the years, over those couple decades, just by being you and offering the support and the comfort and the compassion that you've given to folks. And it's not really surprising when you get to know him that he can be depended upon to be him and the best him he can be, and to be himself, to take his own path. One of the great fallacies I think we have is that there's this choice between taking the easy way or the hard way. Mason has taught me probably more about that conversation, that it's basically not true. Robert Frost wrote a poem about it. Every high school freshman's got to listen to it. Every literature major the world over studies it in depth and confronts the idea that this idea of a road less traveled, that there's an easy way and a hard way, is really just a reflection of your own journey. That there are tough parts of life that we have to go through, and that our experiences and our backgrounds, our makeups, our families, our friends, and our choices can make it hard and arduous, difficult. Character shaping and character revealing. Watching Mason in his journey, it's like there are times that I've kind of seen the growth and how rewarding it is to watch that growth. And I have to admit, it's also pretty entertaining too. When I saw him become a big brother, as a kid who was never really too enthralled with babies, little kids, crying, screaming, feeding. And watching Sailor come into his life and watching how he just immediately, may not have been happy about the fact that there were all the issues that came with the baby, but that the role that he was able to take, as the protector and the mentor to a young person, and how quickly he just jumped into that was amazing to see. Granted, he give side eyes, sighs, and deadpan responses to all of us when she would do something, but the love was there, and the love continues to be there. And understanding that he can show that love and leadership to a young person that constantly that has needed him, and he can fulfill that role in her life. I found it important getting to know you, that you're there because you want to be there, not because anybody's going to force you to be there. And that investment in an activity, a relationship, an organization, regardless, is not one of just thoughtless obligation, that you do it because you have to, you do it because someone's going to feel good about it, because someone's going to make you. No, you're there because you have chosen to be a part of it, and when you do it, you're fully committed to it. Thad was talking about being out there in a winter camp out, which every scout finds to be one of the, some of the most difficult things to do. And you just own it. And that ownership is very powerful because it can get you through the good times, which are less problematic, but also the bad and the ugly times as well, because you fully have invested into what's happening. And that trustworthiness in you is authentic and it's real. There's no fake with you, Mason. Never has been. I suspect there never will be. You have a natural desire and a chosen desire to live by the oath and the law. And you've made it clear in no uncertain terms that you will commit to something if you believe it to be fair, just, and right, even though it may be more difficult to go through that path. And you will stand in opposition to that which is not, will rise up to that standard. You may never give the satisfaction of the response that the other person wants. That's fine, because you enlighten us when you've chosen to take action. And you will pull through in fulfilling that commitment because you truly decided to be present and to be a force. I believe strongly that you know the obligations and responsibility of Eagle. You will always, to the best of your ability, fully commit to keep yourself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. You will keep working to define it in the way that you know it best. And that you will always go that extra step and weigh every decision to the standards of what an Eagle must come to terms with. I look forward to seeing you continue to shine on that road, recognizing that it is your road that is less traveled, and that you will fully own your journey and allowing the rest of us to be along with you on it. And I thank you for allowing me that privilege over the years, my friend. So with that, there is a oath of an eagle that I'd like for you to take. Repeat after me. I, Mason Jones, reaffirm my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath. Promises of the Scout Oath. I'll slow down. I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout Law. I will help other people at all times and keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of the rank of Eagle Scout. I will at all times do my best to assist other scouts climbing the Eagle Trail, especially those of my own troop. I will help build America on the solid foundation of clean living, honest work, and reverence to God. I promise to make my training an example. I promise to make my training an example. My rank and my influence count strongly for better scouting and for better citizenship in my family, church, community, and country, and with my contacts with all people. I realize that the Eagle rank is not the end, but the beginning. To this, I pledge my sacred honor. Congratulations, Mason.
All right. Mason, would you like to come join me up here? Thank you. I'm going to hand you a challenge coin as well. Thank you. And that's just to challenge you to, to keep that with you and remember to carry out your daily life with the Scout Oath and the Scout Law.
Thank you.
Excellent. All right, it is now my great pleasure to introduce Scout BSA Troops 557's newest Eagle Scout, Mason Jones.
What, sailor? Is this good? Thank you. Thank you all for being here. It means the world that any of you guys would show up at all. I didn't expect this turnout, and I thank you all graciously for coming to this event. To start, I would like to get my grandparent pins and hand them out. So if Peggy, Glenn, and Deb could come up here. I have one pin for each of you. They are Eagle Scout grandparent pins, and I would like to thank all three of you, for being here through my journey. Next, I would like to thank my patrol for being here and supporting me throughout my entire Scout journey. Gavin, Keegan, and Cooper, can you guys stand up real quick? You three have been one of the most important aspects of Scouts for me, and I'm glad I could be your guys' friend and get through Scouts with you guys. Thank you guys so much. You guys can sit down. They listen to directions really well. Next, I would like to hand out my mentor pin, and I would like Bob Motes to come up here for this. As he has stated, he has been here since I was born, and over the last year or so of me trying to get Eagle, he was the outright biggest help in achieving that. So I have everything that's happening now, you have him to thank as well. So, appreciate mentor in it? Okay. I don't know what to say next. I had a plan, but as a lot of things in Scouts, didn't go too well in my head. So I think I'll end it by saying thank you all for being here. I thank Troop 557 and 1557. Have they met yet? I don't remember. Whatever. Thank you to my troop for being here and supporting me all throughout my journey in Scouting. Thank you all the people that came here just to visit, just to watch me get this. I thank you guys graciously. And I think that's it.
All right. Marcus Hone will now give the benediction. You can sit down now, Mason.
Please be reverent. We now call upon the Great Spirit of all for his blessing on this new Eagle Scout. May he always strive to attain the noblest and highest ideals of life. Be his strength and his guide. Cause him to follow a straight trail and to never be a reason for other Scouts to waver from their paths. Protect him for many months to come. And now, may the great Master of all Scouts be with us until we meet again, and may we follow the trail that leads to him.
As we close, to invite everybody for a reception honoring Mason in the Fellowship Hall. Now, will all Scouts and Scouters please join me in forming a scouting circle and singing Scout Vespers and Taps? Yep.